How's it going, everybody? It's the Shirtless Chef coming at you with another episode of How Will It Cook? So, let's roll the title. So, I wasn't exactly sure what to call this episode because officially this is not so much a how to cook or a how will it cook. We're making suet. You know, the stuff that you use to feed the birds? Well, we're going to make it. We have 3 containers of shortening that we had left over. We have some sunflower seeds, flax seeds, almonds, and just some random plant seeds we had left over from this year's plant. So, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our mixer and put it up. I just realized I haven't cleaned the mixer in a while. So, bowl's clean, but last time you saw this mixer was when we made king cake. That was back at Mardi Gras. But we're going to dump in our shortening. And yes, this is okay for human consumption. We bake with it, so why couldn't we give it to the birds? This is completely, and I'm going to state an all-natural thing, because it's one, we're using shortening. Granted, it's flavor shortening, but it's shortening. Literally, all this is going to be is just fat and seeds. Go in with all 3 of our containers of shortening. So ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to take our shortening and our seeds, mix everything together, and then set it on this pan and flatten it out. That is the basis of suet. This is kind of an unusual one for me, just because I'm not used to doing something like this, but we'll see how it works. So part of the reason why you didn't see a whole lot from me over the past couple of weeks was if you saw my game streams, you probably know the answer on this, but I'm completely fine and there was minor damage, but I was in a car wreck. Nobody was injured, so it's just more or less getting the car back together. But right now, I'm going to just kind of going to mess up our starting bit. Just to get it put together. And this is going to be very simple, but all we're doing is dumping all this into the mixer. We're going to let the mixer do all the work. There's no need for us to break our backs to do this kind of work. That's why we have these inventions. We have the machine do it for us. Let that go for a minute or two. I did not intend to turn it up, I intended to turn it off. Scrape down the sides of the bowl. Just to make sure everything's kind of mixed together. And for anyone that knows what suet is, they know it comes in just kind of blocks. Well, that's why we have this cookie sheet that we're going to use. Just a plain old cookie sheet. Since this is pretty much all natural, using just what do you do with leftover stuff that's gone bad? I mean, obviously, you wouldn't want mold growing on it, but, you know, oils do eventually go rancid, nuts and seeds and things like that. Get to the point that they're not really appetizing. So this is what you do instead of throwing them away. Let that mix again. I think that's done pretty good. So now all we're really going to do, and this is going to be done really quick. So all we're really going to do from here is just get this emptied, get this scraped down. This is not going to take as long as the king cake that you saw being made. For those that saw the king cake, yes, it really did take a day and a half to make. And most of that was more for the fact that you had to let it sit and rise. And when we started making that, it was at like 8 o'clock at night. And the middle where you're seeing me deal with it rising before we bake it, that's at 12:45 in the morning. So we baked it off the next day. But this is going to be a completely different scenario. Because we're not baking this. We're just going to take the contents of our bowl and spread it onto a baking sheet. This is not going in the oven to bake. This is just going to be emptied onto the sheet and then flattened out. So we basically get a block. I'm just trying to make sure I get all the contents out of the bowl. And from here, all we're going to do is just kind of spread this out. Just spread it flat. And now it's pretty much pressed out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have suet. Okay, folks, so apparently I missed a step. I knew that didn't really look right, but I thought, okay, maybe it's supposed to congeal while it's on the pan. No. I have missed steps on things like this before. Case in point, if you remember the king cake where I made the mistake early on. Where I think I made a mistake early on and had to redo the whole thing. But that's within reason. So we're going to go back to our mixer. And we're going to basically kind of make a pie crust, basically. And so I'll bring it over here. Give me 1 second. And show you what we're looking at. Please ignore the kitchen counter. But it's kind of hard to get a shot of stand mixer. All we're really looking... Okay, that was a problem. I'm going to kind of scrape that down. I'm going to add some more flour to it. You very literally want to dry it out. And as you can see, it's starting to get there. May not necessarily look appetizing for us, but trust me, your birds are going to love it. I'm going to grab a snack. I believe we need a little more flour. Give me 1 second. See, that's a 2014 Jiffy Mix. So we're back, and we are running out of cake flour, so we found other things that we think are ancient from previous moves. Yeah, 2013. Welcome to Cake Mix. This is what we're using now. But at least this is a great way to empty your cabinets. This is going to be yellow cake mix. Here's one more container of cake mix going in. We're slowly getting to what we want. Now we're going to add cookie mix into the container. Oh, the birds are going to have a lot of fun with this. It even has the sprinkles in it. But seriously, folks, this is a great way to empty your cabinet. And find out things you didn't realize you had. Also figuring out how to lose things like scissors. Yes, I'm handing things off screen. I think we're going to stop and scrape everything down. Because I think somehow we're turning into one giant cake as opposed to a block of suet, which is what we're going for. We're slowly getting somewhere, folks. I think it's crumbling. And we've got one giant ball of dough. But let's see what we have. Okay. This is actually coming together the way I actually expected it to earlier. I did not realize it would take that much flour for the amount of crisco we added. We ended up using shortening for this. But it's simply, suet is basically a fat, seeds, and flour. That's pretty much it. So we're going to see how this comes out onto the pan. I think we made it too crumbly. Yeah, I think we added too much this time. I think we can make this work, though. Okay. I think this kind of works. I think we've added too much mix, but this should turn into decent suet. Now we've just kind of let this set up. And when that happens, we will be back. So we are back. I did not screw up the suet like I feared. So the big thing we're going to do is we're going to just kind of press it out. So it's kind of flat. So for those that know anything about me, they know I have CDH, congenital diaphragmatic hernia. But I also have some sensory issues, and this is kind of sensory hell for me. But it gets it pressed out. Okay. I think the squirrel in the attic woke up. That was that loud thump a minute ago. But anyway, this needs to set up for about 2 days. And from there, it will be cut into blocks and put out for the birds. So, for the CDH Warrior and the Shirtless Chef, have a great day. I'll see you next time.